G'day my YouTube friends, how's everyone going? I hope wherever you are, you're happy, you're safe, you're keeping well. My name's Caroline and this is another episode of Carocash Collects where I'm discussing Australia's history of currency. So yeah, I just want to say thank you very much to people who have watched my $5 banknote series in my last episode. If you haven't watched it, please go back and watch it because it'd be great to follow along with us. But today, let's talk $10 banknotes. So in February 1966, the new $10 banknote was launched and replaced the old £5 note in the old pound system. And since then, there have been a total of 4 different $10 banknotes to date. So the first one being paper. It's a beautiful, beautiful banknote. It's paper and it's just, look at the color, like it's so vibrant, it's beautiful. And it features Francis Greenway on the front. Now, Francis was transported to Australia originally as a convict for the crime of forgery. If you don't know Australia's history, most of us came here as convicts. Now, he ended up working with the New South Wales governor and was Australia's first government architect. A lot of well-known buildings in Sydney are his handiwork, such as St James Church and Hyde Park Barracks. So talk about turning your life around. And then on the reverse features Henry Lawson, who was an Australian writer and bush poet in the colonial period, and Australia's referred to him as the greatest short story writer. Side note though, after his death in 1922, Lawson was the first Australian writer to be granted a state funeral. So there you go, pretty cool banknote. I think the coloration is just stunning. It's so vibrant and beautiful. Now, as I mentioned in my last video, Australia was the inventor and first ever country to produce polymer plastic banknotes that a lot of countries now use today. And that first banknote was produced in 1988 to commemorate our bicentenary, and it's a $10 banknote and it's absolutely stunning. I think this note is so gorgeous. A lot of people will not remember this banknote. Funnily, I showed my parents this and they couldn't even remember it. But it's a beautiful note that was only released for 1 year. And I just think it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous banknote. So the front features the sailing ship HMS Supply, which was anchored at Sydney Cove. And then you can see the early colony in the background. And above are people to symbolise all those who have contributed to Australia. The left to early settlers, to the right to the modern working man. It's just gorgeous. And you can see in the hologram Captain James Cook. And if you think this is beautiful, like I think this is beautiful, like the detail in like the little tents, and it's just gorgeous. But if you think this is beautiful, when you turn it over, check that out. It's just beautiful. It reflects the Australian Aboriginal culture and peoples, and the main picture is an Aboriginal youth with ceremonial paint and a human-like kind of figure from Dreamtime mythology in the background there. It's just the colour, it's just a beautiful, beautiful banknote. The artwork, it's just gorgeous. I think this is my favourite ever Australian produced banknote design. It's just stunning. So next up is the banknote that we all remember the most. It was used up until 2017 and originally released in 1993. So I've spoken about this note being one of my favourites as well in the past, due to it featuring Banjo Patterson, who was an Australian bush poet known for waltzing Matilda, and of course the man from Snowy River, which is portrayed on the banknote. So you can see the horseman with the wild brumbies. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous design, and it's a lot smaller. So if you go back to the paper money, you can see how much the size did change. So I imagine people back then were like, what's going on? This is a lot smaller. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful banknote. And then on the back shows Dame Mary Gilmore, who was an Australian writer and journo known for her contributions to Australian literature. Fun fact, she's actually the great aunt of our current Prime Minister, Scott Morrison. So I did not know that myself up until doing a little bit of fact checking before doing this video. So there you go, a little bit of a fun fact. But yeah, like I said, most people will recognize this banknote. We can still find this in our change today, but they're getting more and more rare. Definitely this is the most known Australian banknote though, I would have to say. And then finally, our latest $10 banknote, which was released in 2017 and is a part of this next generation banknote series. As mentioned in our last video, these banknotes contain more security features than our previous banknotes, with the clear window, the UV, the braille. So there's now 2 dots, as I mentioned in our last one. In the $5 there's 1, but there's now 2 dots to help with the visually impaired. It's just, yeah, it's still the same features, the same people. However, as you can see, it's much more detailed illustrations. It's just, yeah, this series is lovely. I do love the clear panel window, the foiling. It is a beautiful banknote. And as I showed in the last video, let's do it again. So let's get out our purple light and you can see the UV watermarks. It's just, how cool is that? If you've got a kid, definitely get one of these lights and get them to play around with this. And so here you cannot see anything yet. If I shine a light, it says 2017, and then the serial number also has UV treatment. Yeah, just pretty cool feature, that's for sure. And a great way for easily spotting fakes as well, because the fakes I don't think have that. It's a bit hard to replicate that. So there's our $10 banknotes to date. I hope you enjoyed learning about the evolution of our $10 banknotes and the designs, and I look forward to showing you our $20 notes in our next episode. But until then, please comment below which one's your favorite. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!